What is going on, everybody? Welcome back here to the channel. I'm Sean Davis. Please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel if you are new for more great content and coverage. We got a pretty decently big Austin Reaves update today regarding his injury, regarding the trade market. We've kind of talked about Austin Reaves's extension that's coming up this summer. So we're going to break down all of that in this video, and we'll be live on the channel tomorrow night. I want to say there's no game tomorrow, so we'll be live on the channel tomorrow night. Let's start off with the injury update. It was revealed at the end of the Lakers series lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are now advancing to the to the Western Conference Finals. It was revealed that Austin Reaves and LeBron James both were dealing with some serious injuries. LeBron was dealing with what he described as an MCL sprain following in the middle of Game 5. And he said, like, look, I probably wouldn't have been able to play in Game 6 or Game 7 if the Lakers were able to pull out the Game 5 win. And then Austin Reaves was revealed to have a serious toe sprain, similar to what I believe Darius Garland was dealing with. And we saw how that really hindered Darius Garland's performance. First, he missed 4 games in the playoffs, Game 3 and 4 in the Heat series, and the first 2 games of their Pacers series. And then we saw how it still kind of hindered him when he did return. So this is per Dan Wiki of the LA Times. Dan reports that according to people with knowledge of the situation, Austin Reaves is still recovering from the serious toe sprain, though it's improving and not expected to require any kind of surgery. That's pretty noteworthy, in my opinion. For one, the fact that he is still bothered by this toe sprain. And honestly, kind of kudos to Austin, honestly, for being able to kind of like gut it out. Trying to gut it out and play on that injury. Again, like I said, we've kind of seen how this injury has impacted Darius Garland and causing Darius Garland to miss some time. And for AR to play on that and still be, facing the repercussions of the injury, super unfortunate. Obviously, hoping for the best as regards to Austin Reaves. Now, regarding the trade market with Austin Reaves, obviously with AR, he's extension eligible this season. It's 140% of the I think it's the average salary, I think, which is why he's only eligible for a 4-year, $89 million extension, whereas opposed to if he declined to not take the extension, then he will be able to, become an unrestricted free agent, potentially get an even bigger bag next summer. This is what Dan Wiki of LA Times had to say. Look, if they do trade Austin Reaves this summer, and by the way, the article from Dan is literally titled, "Will the Lakers try to trade Austin Reaves? Not so fast." Go check that out again on LA Times. Quote from the article, Dan says that if they do trade him, it'll be because some team makes them an impossibly good offer, not because they have to. And this is kind of the situation with AR, because the AR trade machine has been pretty frustrating on both sides. Like, on one hand, you have the people that are super undervaluing Austin, kind of overreacting to a bad series or just coming away with the wrong narrative. And that's, I think, a product of just playoff basketball. It's a smaller sample size, so the reactions are going to be a bit larger to the smaller sample size because, it's the playoffs. But I think the wrong takeaways are being, dragged out of from Austin's season, from the playoffs with AR, even Braun to a certain extent too, but we're going to focus on Austin in this video. And I think the notion that AR, and by the way, like, Austin is like, Luka is really high on Austin per reports. I think Austin is offensively, I can get any defensive concerns that somebody might have on Austin Reaves and Austin Reaves backcourt next to Luka Doncic. Completely understand that. But in theory, but I think tactically there's just ways to get around that, I think. And I think that AR, honestly, is actually a better defender than he gets credit for. I don't think AR is just this complete negative defensive player. I actually think Austin Reaves in the playoffs did one of the better jobs out of any Lakers perimeter player defensively. And again, he's dealing with this incredible toe injury, or not incredible, devastating toe injury. But then also, I think the versatility that Austin has on and off the ball to play next to Luka, talking about a 79th percentile pick and roll scorer, 94th percentile spot up score, 81st percentile isolation score, 83rd percentile off screen score. This is regular season and playoff data, mind you. Like, you add that guy next to Luka Doncic, and Austin, while I will refrain from saying he's a top 10, 15 playmaker, which I think that some of the talk has been around AR, I do think he took a massive playmaking leap this season. And that's something as well that I think is huge. Now, the biggest difference, I think, between Kyrie and Austin as second options is Kyrie could consistently always just on second side action, attack closeouts, get to the rim. I think Austin, when he's attacking closeouts, is more so bump middies. I don't think he's as downhill aggressive as Kyrie was, for example, paired next to Luka. Could be a miss on my part. You guys let me know in the comment section below. And I do think that Austin, he is a little bit more volatile as a catch and shoot threat, because regular season playoffs, he had a much better run this year. It really has the regular season doing a lot of heavy lifting with Austin. Shot 37% from three overall, 34.5% on pull-up threes, 40% on catch and shoot threes. He was almost automatic if he was left open, 47.8% on open catch and shoot threes during the regular season. But in the playoffs this year and last year, you're now looking at back-to-back playoff runs. And again, small sample size. You're looking at a 10-game sample from Austin Reaves. This year, shot 31.9% from three in the playoffs, shot 33% on catch-shoot looks, and 29% on pull-up three-point looks. So if that is something that you have to continuously worry about with Austin going forward into the playoffs, that is something that could make it a little bit interesting. But over an 82-game sample, Austin Reaves is a really, really freaking good pairing next to Luka Doncic. And honestly, it's more so about building the guys around them. And from Austin's perspective, I talked about this in another video, but him wanting a big raise makes sense. I'm not saying if he does or doesn't, but if he were to opt out in hopes for a bigger contract, it makes sense when you compare him to the guard market and you look at the Emmanuel Quickleys of the world. That's just the first guy that popped into my head. And you go, I can make that. I'm better than these guys. Like, we look at next season, for example, right? And we look at all the guards that Austin Reaves is better. You know what? We'll look 2 seasons from now, the first year of the extension. All the guards that Austin Reaves is better than, I would rather have Austin Reaves over Bradley Beal right now. Bradley Beal's at $57 million. Jamal Murray's at $50 million. We're only talking about paying Austin 35 maybe. So I probably would take Austin for 35. I'm not going to lie to you. You're looking at Darius Garland at 42. I think Garland's the better player. Is he if you do this extension, is he $30 million better than Austin Reaves? No. I look at a Desmond Bane at $39 million. I look at Jalen Green at 36, Jordan Poole at 34, DeJounte Murray at 33. So from Austin's perspective with the contract, it makes sense why he could potentially want to opt out of his deal. And in terms of the asking price for Austin, look, I am at the bid. Again, this is where the trade aspect of Austin kind of comes into play. If Austin Reaves declines the extension this summer, you have to explore the idea, I think, of trading Austin Reaves. I think it only makes sense to at least see what the market is for AR. But I'm not just trading him for anything either. So I think there is a bit of a disconnect with the fan base and maybe even some of the reporting right now that, look, it's pay Austin this or nothing, or it's, one of these conflicting arguments where it's like, guys, you're trading him for nothing. Austin's not worth this and yada, yada, yada. There's a very realistic pathway where Austin doesn't get extended this summer, but the Lakers still go out and they keep him, and then you just work towards the extension next summer when he's a free agent. Like, that is very much in the realm of possibility. And I think the league values Austin Reaves. I think Austin Reaves is a guy that you could get a really good deal for. So, and also one last thing here, I'm not personally, because the guy that's been tossed around a ton for Austin Reaves is a guy like a Herb Jones in a trade. This is purely Laker Twitter talk. I'm not trading Austin Reaves for a specialist when this is my current version of LeBron. If this is 5 years ago, literally 2021, 2020 version of LeBron, then sure, because LeBron can, over an 82-game sample, carry that much of an offensive load still. Austin Reaves makes perfect sense for this team still, because Austin Reaves over an 82-game sample is going to be the guy that can kind of blend both LeBron and Luka together, where I'm the perfect offensive complementary partner to Luka from a perimeter creator standpoint. But I'm also the guy that can ease the load of LeBron for an 82-game sample. And then when we get to April, May, June, hopefully next season, then LeBron can kind of ramp up his offensive load. Because, I mean, I just have a hard time imagining LeBron at age 41 next season continuing to have this big of an offensive load. So it makes sense why the Lakers asking price high for Austin Reaves. I do think that it's most likely that they find some sort of agreement over the next 12 months or so. I think it's going to take a really just outrageous deal for them to trade Austin Reaves. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. As always, leave a like and subscribe here to the channel for more great Lakers content and coverage. Until next time, everybody. See ya, stay safe, and go Lake Show.